So here we go. Your graph should look like this. That would be your average total cost, that would be your average fixed cost, and that would be your marginal cost, and that would be your average variable cost. Okay, so why we did that? Because we have to understand a very important concepts, and that concepts will be heavily tested on your midterm as well. So please now open your graph and we discuss one by one the characteristics of this graph. So look at your graph and see that the marginal cost rises with the amount of output produced. Why? The reason is this reflects the diminishing marginal property. What is that? The diminishing marginal product property is that the total product or total production is going to be increased but at decreasing rate. So, and we discussed about its reason is that as more and more workers are hired, each additional worker contributes less and less to the production because the firm has a limited amount of equipment, but the cost rises with additional worker. And then the average total cost curve is like a U shape, right? Look at your graph and look at the shape of the average total cost. It is like a U-shaped curve, right? Okay. And then at very low levels of output, average total cost is high because fixed cost is spread over only a few units. So look at the first half of the U shape. At the low level of output, when the output is low, the average total cost is highest. And what is the reason? Because fixed cost is spread on small number of units. So then average total cost declines as output increases. Look at the U shape. When output increases, average total cost start declining. And then average total cost start rising because average variable cost start rising. So this part, average total cost again start rising. And what is the reason? The other half of the U curve, because average variable cost start rising, right? So look at your graph and see that whether it is true or not. If you're still feeling some kind of difficulty, please do write us in our WeChat group. We'll discuss further. Okay, the bottom of the U-shape every total cost curve occurs at the quantity that minimizes the every total cost. So look at your curve and that is like this. It's a U-shaped curve. Yes. So where the every total cost is minimum, that is the bottom. So remember our discussion regarding the profit. And what we discussed that we're going to increase our profit by decreasing the cost. So here we go. We are achieving our target, that is, if we able to minimize our total cost, or if we are able to maintain our cost at the bottom of the U-shaped curve, which is average total cost, then we would be very efficient to increase our profit. So that's why we call this point efficient scale, right? So the bottom of the U-shaped curve occurs at the quantity that minimizes the average total cost. So here is at this bottom our average total cost is minimum, and that point is called efficient scale. And now the other characteristics, that is, whenever marginal cost is less than the average total cost is falling. Let me draw it here. So I'm just going to draw it here. So we have, so look at your graph, it should be like this. This average total cost, this is MC, right? So look at that. Whenever marginal cost is less than the average total cost, so this is the marginal cost. So let me just divide it. So the left side, this side, this is the MC and this is the ATC. So when MC is less than ATC, which means the left side, the average total cost is falling. Look at that one. Average total cost is falling. Right? Good. And now here we have our MC, and this is the average total cost. Let me just divide it here. This is the MC. So now look at that one. Whenever MC is greater than the average total cost, here MC greater than the average total cost, the average total cost starts rising. The average total cost starts rising. Okay. So what is the managerial implication here? Right? Think about that. Would you like to be on the right side where MC is greater than ATC, or would you like to be where MC is less than ATC? Definitely you want the average total cost to be minimum, so you want to keep in this region. So the beauty of this region is that MC is less than ATC, is that when you increase your production, your average total cost start even decreasing. That is amazing. That is miracle. If you produce more, the average total cost will be lower. So that is the benefit of having economic subject. And the last point for the managerial cost, and that is the MC crosses the ATC at its minimum, which means on efficient scale, right? The marginal cost curve crosses the average total cost curve at its minimum or efficient scale. And what is efficient scale? We discussed in our previous slide. That is, it is a quantity that minimizes average total cost, right? Good. Okay, now it's time to examine the relationship that we already discussed between the measures of cost. Let's discuss that. Here it is. So we have MC. MC is upward sloping. The average total cost curve is U-shaped curve. Average variable cost is below the average total cost, but you see here the marginal cost crosses the both ATC and AVC, which is average variable cost and average total cost. And then we have average fixed cost. So average fixed cost always start declining. You see that declining, but it never touches zero. Okay, so that is the beauty of these curves. Let's explain these concepts further. So we have to memorize the important point, and that is very important point. That is, marginal cost curve eventually rises with the quantity of output, right? The average total cost is a U-shaped curve. The marginal cost crosses the average total cost curve at its minimum, right? Let me just draw it here. We have U-shaped curve, which is average total cost. We have marginal cost. So average total cost is U-shaped, and marginal cost crosses the average total cost at its minimum, which is on efficient. So the efficient scale is that point or that areas in which the average total cost is minimum, right? So in the bottom of the U-shaped curve is efficient scale. Okay, I have described this curve, and now it's your turn to check your concept. So I have pasted a concept checker. So just answer the question, pause the video here, and match your answer accordingly. If your answer is C, then you're in good shape. If you don't understand that, please do write us in our WeChat group, or you can write us on Blackboard discussion forum as well.